Hello, good day everybody. We'll get this stream going shortly. Let's switch over to the main screen and I have text. So we'll go ahead and get this. Good morning, Pro Tools. Okay, so everyone who's been hanging out, let's see, we are on the second part of firing modes. Firing modes went quite friggin' silly yesterday as we were implementing them, and had to break apart a bunch of stuff. So today we should hopefully be figuring it out, in theory. Just having a little bit of a chat here in Discord. But so let's see. We have to fix our bug with bursting, locking up the weapon. We need to basically, we're going to add in a bool to allow the entire clip to be wasted if we reload early. And we need to finish full auto. And those shouldn't be too hard of an issue here. Let's see, Pro Tools. Have you ever done a video on how to use a key to open a locked door? I have not. Do we mean like a lock picking tutorial, or just simply you need an item in your inventory before the door opens? So, or for that one. So, but for anyone who has been watching since the beginning of this FPS prototype upgrade, you might be screaming, there's so much stupid stuff going on, and why is he doing all these stupid things? And the word stupid, basically, which is fine. That's good. If you're noticing stupid stuff, that's good. That means you're thinking about other ways of doing things, and that's what I'm hoping for. A lot of the stuff that's in here isn't done like the best, most efficient way. It's done simply because it's probably the easiest way. And then as we run into problems, we will fix it. Or if we run into the need to update it, we'll update it. So it's intended to not have things done properly the first time, because it's a learning experience, and I want everyone to see the pitfalls you're running into and smaller problems we're going to run into. So yeah, there are supposed to be things that basically don't work properly, and we basically fix them organically as we come across. So let's see, Pro Tools, thinking the ladder. Well, to basic, here, let's here, give me a second with that one. So we have our, this is our line trace 414 project, which I really need to rename. But it should be pretty simple to do basically, if you have a key in your inventory, it unlocks the door. All you have to do is just a simple check, because, well, you've already got something set up. Like we have our example here with our door, and when we walk into it, we can fire the line trace and, press mouse button to open. Inside of our character, which is where our line trace is at right here, and see, we check and see if something's within a certain distance. You can just do another check in here. If it's within a certain distance and, has key. Technically, a bool would kind of be silly to do this, but, has key. You do it like this. We can do an and we can basically make it where you have to be next to the door and you have to have the key in order for it to actually fire off the trace and work properly. Like this. And I think that was me putting it in a completely wrong spot. I think I put that code in the wrong spot, because this is for a completely different blueprint, which is highly amusing. Yeah, so let's actually let's see, first person character. Here we go. So here's our line trace right here. Yeah, so we'd have a door key You can set that to true or false. You can do a simple AND. Not an NFD, but an AND. And that's it. Just simply don't have the line trace fire off unless they have the key. So in this case, I should not be able to open the door because I don't have the key. But if my door key was set to true, and we actually hit the play button, there we go. Now the door will open. So all you'd have to do is basically determine how to populate. So players has inventory. You know, the inventory could be a bunch of objects. You simply have it look through the objects, see if it has the required key. Because if I was thinking about the easiest way of doing this to make it reusable, we have our door. And this is a blueprint I created that handles our door movement and all that stuff. The door could have another variable called, locked, for example, which means it'll be locked by default. So you definitely like is locked. And then, required item. And this could simply be I don't know, we're going to go with, just for now, we're going to go with a name. And we'll go with is locked for true, like that. And then on this one, basically, we'll do an if event inside of the door. And we'll only fire off if it's not locked. So we'll do something like this. Okay. So now, in theory, in the door, it should still open properly. Unless I set that to... Oh yeah, it locked. Oh yeah, I defaulted it to locked. Yeah, so because the door is locked, I can't unlock it like that, which is perfectly fine. And then we have the open door event, and that's exactly what we want. And then required item. I'm kind of ahead of myself right here. We'll do it like this, and we'll call the required item key 1. We'll go like that. And then inside of our character, we'll get rid of our door key. We'll get rid of this right here. And we'll go with items. Keep in mind, this is not probably very efficient inventory for items, but it's simply to show that you can have multiple things. So we'll have like a flashlight and an apple and a note and a shovel. So no key. So we'll do that. And then this is going to be on our player. So we are going to now go into our door, and this item right here, this is our hitter. See how we're opening the door right here? We could simply pass in the actor that we're hitting. So for example, my open on the BPI door. Let's find where our door went to. Let's see. And if anyone has any idea where I put the door at, you'd be one ahead of me. This is a test there we go, BPI door. It's a test project, so, not really doing here. And we'll do an input, and we'll do, who hit us. We'll do an actor. Reference, there we go. If we go back to the first person character, we can pass in who hit us, like this. Now on our character, it should have no interface, so we'd want an interface on our character. So we do like a blueprint interface, and we do this like blueprint interface character. And, our character has a new function called check inventory for item. It's going to return back a true or false, has item. We'll go like this. We'll go back to our character. We'll implement the character. We will have a new event in here somewhere. So we're going to go with has check for item, right? Yep, check inventory for item. We'll get this. We'll do a for each loop through all of these. Probably could add the break in here, but not too worried about it. Oh, I kind of need to put this inside the actual function. So let's put it inside the function. So let's see, check inventory, and then here, and then if this is equal to the item we passed in, which I didn't put in here, so our input will be item, and this is a name. I'm doing a name simply because it makes it easy to make a really quick inventory here. So here we go. So if the item, we're going to loop through everything in the inventory. If they have that, we're going to pass back true. This should actually be in the false. So we're going to complete this here. And then we are going to have a new variable, and we're going to as item. Oh, we want a local variable, which means we should probably have this as our break. So let's do for each loop with break. We're going to do that right here. This would be the smarter way of doing it. And then we're going to have a local variable called has item, which isn't going to cooperate because I have to recompile because I already had an item, something called has item, which isn't in here. Stupid blueprints. Stuck in state. There we go. And this is not supposed to be up. There we go. And we'll set this. We're simply going to set has item every time we loop through here. Which, here we go. So if it's equal, it'll be no. If it's true, it's going to be yes. We'll do a simple if here. If it ends up being true, we're going to go ahead and break, so that way we finish. Then we return back the result, which is local has item. So if it ever finishes, it's going to be false by default. If it ever finds an item, it's going to return back true. We'll go back to our event open door, and we're going to do a check inventory on whoever hit us. We're going to check for the required item that we filled in. And if it has the item and the door is locked, then we're going to set. Okay, so we don't need to worry about, well, this should technically be there. Let's get rid of this over here. There we go. Then we'll set is locked to false. If they don't have it, then we're going to check and see if it is locked. And if it is locked, we're going to do nothing. And if it's not locked, then we'll go ahead and open it. Like that. Okay. So in theory, if I hooked everything up properly, which I have no clue if I did or not, I guess we'll find out. Okay, so let's fire at the door. Okay, we can't open it. The door, if we look at the door, requires key 1. Our character, if we close all the extra crap, and the inventory does not have a key 1. If we add key 1, and my cat lets me actually see my monitor. Oh, for funk's sake. Okay. And we play again. I should work. Nope, didn't work. Okay, so now we got to figure out what we broke. We put a extra branch in here, which we didn't need. Okay. So let's check our door. Let's figure out what we did wrong here. Which is totally possible that we did something stupid, because it happened all the time. Okay. Check our door. We are going to pass in key 1, and it's going to return back an odd item. We are going to step and go to here. Has item false. Okay, so we're returning back a false. So we need to go into our check inventory for item inside of our character. Anyone know where we put that? Put it right here. Okay. So let's see if we can double check this. Let's go ahead and resume. If I can figure out where I pause this at. There we go. We don't need this one. Pause. Resume. Fire again. Okay. Check inventory. Oh. Okay. Check. This is not firing. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Okay, so it would help if I wasn't passing along what we hit as the target and actually passing along who hit us. I was passing along the door rather than ourselves. Our friends. That's funny. Okay, so basically our code was never getting called because we were referring back to ourselves. Go back in here. Fire it off. Now we're checking the inventory for the item. Now we'll resume. There we go. Okay. Now that we've got this fixed, let's go play it. Our door should open. Well, technically, the first time it unlocks, and then the next time it opens. Because of the way we have our code set up. Remember, we check it, we go ahead and unlock it, and we should unlock it, and then we probably want to open our door, I'm assuming, right after we unlock it. So we'll go here, we'll fire it, there we go. Our door unlocks because we have the key. Or if we go to our character, and we've removed the key, or we'll just give him key 2 this time, for example. He no longer has key 1. We'll go back to play, and it's going to fire off and give us a nothing every time. Because the door is checking to see if the player has that item in the inventory. And the nice thing about this is doing it this way, basically you could have multiple doors. Like, for example, if I took this door, duplicated it, told it this door is key 2. Now key 1 shouldn't work, but key 2 will work because I have key 2. And you could easily change the menu to whatever items required, you know, need key 2, because the door, we have, remember this one, press whatever to open. When we go to it, you could easily have append, would output that, and this will be get this, and we'll go bump, and we'll go is required. Do that. And we'll go back here. We look at the door. It should say key 1 is required. Key 2 is required. See? And then, of course, you can always check to see if the player has it when you get next to it by doing the same thing. You know, like for example, if this says this, but you could easily change the initial overlap to this is who overlapped with us, so over after, so we can check the inventory of the person who overlapped with us. Does he have this item? Well, let's find out. Let's see. He has an item, so we'll do has item. We'll do an if check after that. If it's false, we're going to go ahead and print out what they need. I love simple stuff like this. This is just a lot of fun to do. If I could select the right thing, there we go. And then the true would be, actually, technically, this should be the same thing. The only thing we need to do is change the, so we don't need a branch. We'll fire off select, because all we're changing technically is the text. And it's going to be the, we'll do something like this. This, pull this over here. This will be, let's see, if they have the key, we're going to tell them something else. If not, we're going to tell them that. We can copy this code. And we'll go, we don't need to do that. Technically, it'll just be mouse to open door. Do that, for example. Okay. Which, yeah, there we go. So, key 1 is required, and mouse to open door, because we have key 2. And key 1 is required because we need key 1 to open this door, but we have key 2, so the mouse will open, or you know, whatever we want on this one. And then, yep. So, and that's a super simple. Not super simple, but that's a nice, open, easy way. Hopefully, that went beyond what you're asking for, because I like doing stuff like that. Yeah, and you can, of course, modify things as needed. This is designed right here. As you can see, we unlock the door if they have the key. You could always have it where the key is checked every time, and it's required. So, for example, if they lose a key, or you take the key away from them, it's now technically still locked because they need the key every time. So you could have this, for example, this could be a passcard system. So it's a door with a passcard system requires the passcard always to be there. You just simply never unlock it. You just simply keep it locked every time. And that way they'll have to have the key, and if it's locked, in order to open it. So lots of small things you can do. So that was fun. Okay, let's go back to what I was doing. I'm also getting someone, let's see. Sorry about this. Answer the question. Okay, so we were working on stuff. Okay, so we have bugs. Let's let me fix full auto first, because I think this one should be super simple to do. What we have now is our character when we fire off the fire again event. If I can figure out where we put it. Right here. We have our event fire the weapon. And our event fire the weapon basically, this gets called, we wait a little bit, and then we call the normal button press. What I'm thinking the easiest way of doing this is we're going to remove the delay and we're going to create a timer instead. And that means we're actually going to need to move this out a little bit. So we're going to create a timer. And we're going to call the timer, handle auto fire. And then that time will be the time in. And we're not going to set to loop. So it's basically going to call handle auto fire. Basically the same thing we did before. And then we make a custom event called handle auto fire. And plug it back in where we had it. Like that. So we did basically the same thing, except now we have a timer handling it instead of a delay. And the nice thing about this is because we have a timer, we can promote this to a variable. We'll call this one the auto fire timer. And in our release function right here, when they handle the button being released, we can just simply take, our auto fire timer and clear it, clear and invalidate. And what this should do is prevent any pending auto fire from re-triggering. So if we let go of the button, it should stop the auto fire automatically at this point. Which was with our item here, because we had the auto fire. We hit the button once. Yeah, see? Now technically I've got a small bug apparently, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But if we hold it down, whoops. Okay, there we go. Okay, it fires down automatically. And if we hold it down and then let go, it stops. I can't refire because apparently I broke something somewhere else. And I'm guessing we need to set is firing to false, probably? Inside of our weapon object. Yeah, handle action button release. So we just go to here, is firing, and we set it is firing to false. So I think this will fix it. We'll go to auto fire, hold it down, release, hold it down, release. Yep, there we go. So that takes care of auto fire. By switching this over to a timer, it gives us the ability to turn on and off the auto fire. And we can easily test this. Let's go to our data table. Let's go to our grenade launcher. Yeah, let's go to our grenade launcher since it has auto fire. And let's give it, we'll give it 40 grenades because why not? So now we should have a 40 grenade. So if we go to single, we have single, just like we expect. We go to burst, we should be able to fire off 3, working as expected. We go to full auto. Now as long as you hold down the button, we have full auto, just like we expect. There we go. So there's our full auto fixed. So let's remove that from here. It also makes it easy because let's say the player was in the middle of bursting and the player died. Technically, we could have the weapon stop at any point now by just simply killing the auto fire timer. Whereas before, we'd have an issue because the weapon would continue trying to fire even when we kill the person, which would probably be kind of cool. Okay, so let's see what else we have. When we burst and don't have enough ammo for the entire weapon, for the entire burst, the weapon mode's locked up. So we were able to, let's see if we can determine what's causing this. So if we switch this to burst, there's our burst, and the problem is, it fires one. Oh. Okay, well, technically I fixed it on accident. So the problem we were having is this was getting stuck on. And somewhere inside of our graph, right here, basically when it ran out of ammo and it could no longer burst in here, for example, we were never setting its fire to false. Its fire probably should have been like somewhere around here. And it was basically stuck. Now that we have this code implemented right here to work on a timer, and then this code right here inside the weapon to, when we let go of the button, to remove its firing. Why don't you interrupt a burst now when you release the button? That is a good question. I guess we're going to find out. We might. Yep, nope, we do. You are correct. Yep, so this should be pretty simple to fix. If I can do this. So technically we fixed it, but we broke it at the same time. Nope, good catch. This is why I like testing things. The easiest thing to do is if we're firing and the weapon type is burst. Like that. Burst. Then we're going to go ahead and just simply not disable firing. That's probably the easiest way of doing this. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we're okay. So if we're bursting, then we don't want to disable firing. So we're still going to need to fix our bug, it looks like. Let's see if that fixes bursting. Nope, it completely broke it. Wait. Or did I... Okay, what did I do wrong here? If it's equal to burst, do nothing. Okay. Oh, the timer's... Oh my gosh. Yep. No, you're right. Huh. So would the easiest thing to do then to be simply ignore the mouse up if we're bursting? And then have the code itself properly take care of itself? Because if we're bursting, we don't want to invalidate the firing mode, basically. Is what makes sense to me. So if we did, if we put the code in here then, without moving that all the way over there. Let's see. Let's set it to true just to make it easier. Let's see, equip weapon slot, get the weapon slots, get the item at 0, method. Let's see. Oh, I've got a current weapon. Duh, that's why we did this. There we go. That's why we made a macro. And then get. This seems like it would be a good candidate to get to macro as well. Okay. So basically, if we're not bursting, then we're going to go ahead and do the code. Okay. Obviously, this might run into issues, but that's what we're playing with. Single works, multi works, and we still broke it, which is fine. That's what we're in the process of fixing right now. Okay, so multi still works, but we have some broken nodes, which again we're trying to fix, so that's not an issue. Let's see. So, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yeah, so we obviously know this is... God. Valid check. So many valid checks. Which is smart. but okay, let's try this again. Fire release, fire release. Okay. Let's stop simulating. Let's go back in here. Let's see if we can break it again. Okay, so we still have it broken, which should be perfectly fine. Because we know that somewhere inside of this code for handling the action button, we're not properly handling what happens when we run out of ammo. So it's an is firing thing. So would the easiest thing to be basically if we don't have any ammo to set is firing down here to would that be the easiest thing to do? Because if we have no ammo, technically we should not be firing anymore, right? I mean, it makes sense to me. There we go. Okay. It's working again. Yeah, so that makes sense. Basically, we're clearing out our firing variable when we run out of ammo. Because it was our firing variable that was causing our issue. That makes sense to put it there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Harry, you are right on point today with everything, which is awesome to see. I definitely appreciate that. So I've got a curious question. Have you happened to see anything else that looks extremely stupid that might cause problems in the attempt to fix the bursting? Because edge cases are where 90% of the crap you have to fix comes into play. Okay. Single fire and full auto. Oh wait, that was burst. Okay, there's full auto. Blah, 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 blah. And projectile does nothing, so we get no sounds or anything. So that's fine. Okay, good. So then we got one small little thing left to, well, technically not fixed, but we want to add. We're going to add a bool to the weapons to allow wasting of the remaining ammo when reloading. So this one shouldn't be too bad to implement. It's the stupid... it's in the player, right? And it's the reload. And I completely forgot where it's at. Because it's not the adjust, it's... Oh, it's in the event graph, that's right. Right? It's in here somewhere, isn't it? Seriously? Did I manage to friggin' lose this again? We found it yesterday. Like, we literally found this code yesterday, and then I got lost. Reload weapon, right here. Oh, okay, so it's inside the weapon object. Ah. There we go. This is what we were looking for. Okay. So, we are going to make a new variable inside of our data structure. And I don't know what the proper name for this would be. We'll just call it waste ammo. Waste ammo. Lose ammo. Waste clip. Because we can have tooltips for all these. I'm not really worried about that, but I'm curious what would be the appropriate name for this would be. Waste ammo. I'll just call it waste ammo. I don't know, that sounds weird. Does lose ammo. I mean, technically I could make it a really big one called does lose ammo in clip or does lose ammo in magazine, but yeah, discard mag. Discard mag is probably the closest I would get. We're gonna have that default to false by default. And then hello Prophet. I have thought about doing videos on EQS. I actually have it on my list here, right here. And I have some more advanced AI stuff I am working on. So hopefully I can get to that at some point. And good day, the Mad Gunner. Okay, so let's make our default pistol discard the mag. We'll make everything else not discard. Here's our weapon object. Discard mag. And where did we want to put it in our structure? Probably, definitely not at the bottom, I'm thinking. Maybe near the ammo type. Let's see. Firing methods? We'll go under firing methods. Okay, so where it's gonna be. So this is gonna be under firing methods. So if we can there we go. Go back to our character. Oops, let's make sure we expose that. Also, I'm going to come right back here because I forgot to expose it. Let's figure out where my event graph went to because I apparently closed it. There we go. Let's hook up our new Boolean like that. And let's set it up in here. So, where'd discard mag go? Let's see. So if we are discarding the magazine, then we're basically going to do the existing system right here. Where here, let's see what happens. This should not, well, there's no ammo there, so that really doesn't matter. But this should not change. We'll basically reload every single time. Okay, so there should be no difference there. What we need to do is, if we don't want to discard the mag, what are we going to do? Yeah, the environmental query system. It's for the AI. It's for doing things like, can I hear the enemy, or can the enemy hear me? And is there line of sight and stuff like that? It allows the AI to know more about what's around it and make judgments based on that. And I had planned on that when I was doing my initial AI stuff, but it's pretty complicated. There's a lot of stuff. Okay. So all we're going to do is all we're going to do is duplicate this code. And then this will go up to here, because the only thing that technically is going to change is these two things right here. And this will have different numbers in here. So if they're not going to discard, then the amount of wanted ammo is going to be, this should be super simple. This should be the max ammo count and the current ammo count. So the max ammo count, subtract the current ammo count. Oh, you know what? I don't even need to do two of these things. I'm going to turn this into a switch, because all we're doing is changing one variable. Yep. This should be super simple. Don't even need this anymore. Not switch, the select. Oh, I love the selects. These things are so handy, because all we are changing is the wanted ammo. So if they are discarding the magazine, we want every bit of ammo in the full clip, and we're going to waste everything else. If they are not discarding, we only want the difference between the max ammo and what they currently have. So if they have 3 and the max ammo of 6, we only want them to load up 6. And this should work. Should be in the keyword, like normal. Let's see. So we have set to lose the clip, so everything should work, everything should reload, and we should drop down to 2. Okay. We'll go to our weapon table. We'll go back to our pistol, since it's the only thing I actually have extra ammo in. Actually, this is kind of stupid. Let's do this. Let's give our other weapon extra ammo. Probably be the easiest way of handling this. Okay. Now we should have the right number? All right, let's see. But the current ammo did not work properly. Okay. So this we need to fix. Technically, we're all... Oh, see. Oh, okay, so we've got a small problem here. Damn it. Because it's going to give them back whatever we can give them. Either the full amount, the partial amount, or whatever's left inside the player's inventory. So this is correct. The problem is... Oh, yeah, see, we don't want to... Shoot. I mean, I can technically do another one of these. I mean, I guess this won't hurt. I don't know if I like it or not. And then this is going to be, let's see, true or... no, because see, our given ammo... Oh, crap. Okay, so we have 3 cases here. The first case is the worst case. Our player attempts to get more ammo than they have. It's a 6 ammo clip. We're asking for 6 ammo, and the player has 2 in them. Then our given ammo amount is going to be 2, and that's correct. We only want to set our current ammo to 2. So no problem there. The full clip version, we discard whatever we currently have, we lose it, and we get back 6 ammo, the full count. And if they have that, we're going to get back the full count, and we're going to reload the weapon. No problem there. The third one is we are not discarding. We're simply going to reload the current clip. So we want 4 pieces of ammo, for example. And they have 4 pieces of ammo. We get 4 pieces of ammo, and then the problem is that's technically not what the current is. We need to add that. So I guess the case here would be... actually, you know what? Yeah. Well, Pizza the Hut. Technically, there's a 4th one. What if we're having them not discard, reload the weapon, and there's only 2 bullets left, and they had 2 as ready? Then our current count should be 4. So technically, I'm going to need to... I think I'm going to have to run an if. And have 2 different branches. I don't think I could see a way around this. Well, I didn't think I could see a way around the other one either, so... the nice thing is we could figure this out while we were playing. While we were testing. So... if they are discarding, then we want the current ammo. We want this right here. Yep. If they're not discarding, then the current ammo is going to be the given ammo added to the current ammo count. Like that. And then both of these can feed back into here. Yep. So that's what we end up with. And I don't think I could see any way of getting around having an if here. Because if I did a select, I still have too many issues. Because I need to have to give it... Wait a minute. Okay, well, hold on. How can we do this in a select? Hold on. Hold on. This is why I like to do this. Okay. So... Okay, so if we disconnect this one and this one. Okay. I think we can do this. Hold on. Okay. So all we need to do technically is then feed in. This was the true one, right? And then this was the false one. Oh, okay. Maybe we didn't need an if statement. I just needed to actually think about it. And look at the insane amount of... it should go over there. Yeah, like that. Okay. You know what? I think that'll work. I don't know. The nice thing is we'll just play test all 4 versions and see what happens. Okay, so let's see what happens. Wait, did I finish hooking everything back up? Okay, did good. Okay, let's pick up this pistol. This one's set to lose the entire clip. 2 shots, reload. We lost the entire clip, reload. Lost the entire clip, reload automatically. Fire a couple bullets, hit reload. We should only end up with 2 of 0. Okay, so that one works fine. We'll grab this one. We'll fire 5 bullets, reload. We should be at 10 of 25. We are. We'll hit reload. Nothing happens. Okay, that's kind of silly. I should probably do a check for reloading when you're full. We'll run through everything. Should reload at, what, 10 of 15? Fire off again. Should have 10 and 5. We'll do this. We should have 8 and 0. There we go. And then we should run out of ammo. Cool. Okay. Oh, did we test if we could reload when we're at 0? Let's find out. Yay, my package is here. Nope. Okay, cool. Alright, sorry about that. I got Christmas presents showing up in the mail. Okay. I think, anyone who's watching, anyone see any issues? Does it look like we did it? You may notice I have a preference for using selects if possible, instead of ifs, because it's technically one less execute node. And, yeah, it's one less execute node. That's basically why. You got to clean it up a little bit more if you have like really funky things like I have this math here. But I like select nodes. They come in really handy if you basically need to make 2 choices in an if statement. But I think our code's good. I did test everything, right? Oh, we couldn't reload. We were able to reload when we have a full clip. That was an issue. But it was only because we were manually reloading inside the character. So that should be super simple to fix. Okay, let's see. Let's find our current weapon. And, what was it? Max ammo count? Yep. And then current ammo count. And we'll do not equal. So basically, if we don't have a full clip, then we're going to go ahead and allow them to reload. And if they have a full clip, we should not be able to reload now. Let's find out. Play. Pick up the weapon. R. Yay. Fire 1. Reload. Perfect. Okay, that fixed that one. All right. Let's see if we can. We should still be able to win the game. Yep. Nothing should change. All right. Let's see. I know it was a late start today, but we're at almost the hour mark. I had a little bit of help in the beginning. Hopefully it helped out Pro Tools with a little door locky thingy. And let's check our thingy here. Let's see where'd it go. Oh, yeah, right here. Edible to weapons to allow wasted memory ammo. Okay, so discard mag. That's done. So this one is going to be considered done. 1213 and 1214. So that one is done. We're pretty much wrapping up here because we're at the hour mark, and it's just simply easier to wrap up after an hour, especially since I started late today and technically my kids come home very shortly. But I'm happy. We were able to. It took longer than I wanted for the first day, but I think the first day actually came out pretty well. I mean, so far we've got weapons we can adjust and update. They can go into different weapon slots. They can replace current ones. We can change weapon methods and firing. Let's update our icons. Really quickly. I'm going to do that. We have the ability to change, like for example, we have weapon 3 selected. And you can see which weapon type is highlighted. but we don't have the ability to easily tell which weapon we have selected. So I think I'm going to only highlight the weapon we have selected. So I think we'll quickly do that. And hello, Jerry. And the nice thing is this shouldn't be too hard. We technically have code somewhere in here for these changing the weapon. So here's the code, which is really ugly, for setting the current firing method, which sets our color and opacity. So all we need to do is have an event for setting the current weapon. So find our interface, find our player UI, we'll make a new interface, and we'll do set current weapon. What did we take in? Weapon number. And all we need to take in is weapon number for this one, because it's simply going to refer to which one it is. Weapon num, which is an integer. Actually, that may not work. Okay, so our loadout box, how do we fill up our loadout box? Because if our loadout box only has one item in it, wait, but our layout array, I'm mainly questioning right now, what do we do, for example, if it's weapon 3 we pick up? It's technically only going to be the only item in there. But so it's going to be index 0, but it's going to be and it's going to be child at index 0. But the problem is it's going to be okay, so what have I done wrong here? No, okay. So the weapon numbers are being put into the array based on where they're at. Okay, so this shouldn't be that hard to do. Okay. So what the hell do we call that? Set current weapon. There we go. No, I was just overthinking this was all. We have a reference to the weapon itself. So we need the, let's see, we're going to get the, let's see, so this should give me the weapon layout loadout slot reference. So we need to find our weapon loadout slot, and what we're going to need to change is this, which is going to be our weapon image. So, I've got too many things open at this point. Let's get our weapon image, and let's set color and opacity. Yep. Now we're going to set the currently selected one to full value. So we technically need this entire thing here. So we're going to have to loop through and then check and see if it's equal. Yeah, so technically we could use all of this stuff. We're just not getting the child. So we're going to do the same stuff we did. Okay, so this should be super easy enough. I wonder if, okay, so this is our layout block, and then when we have it playing, let's pick up a bunch of weapons. This is what it looks like. I wonder if it would be easier to simply put a, to mask out the entire thing, rather than just the image itself. You know what? I wonder if that would be easier. Let's find out. Yeah. Give me a second here. I think, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to adjust the slots value. That'll make it a lot easier. Then we don't have to worry about the image itself. Yep, so that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to get the slot and adjust its color opacity. Okay. So you'll see what I'm talking about when we are doing this. So we're going to loop through what are we looping through here between 0 and the last index of the weapon layout array? Last index. So we're going to loop through all the slots by doing this. And then we're going to get the items at our current index, and then we're going to see if the what are we checking here? The index is equal to the... Yeah, we can't do that. Oh yeah, we can, right? Yeah, because we're expanding the array. So we're going to check and see if this is equal to this. So let's that. And then we're going to do a select and a set color. This. And we'll have the same thing we had before. And then what we're going to do is get this one, and we're going to set the color and opacity of the actual widget itself, not the image. So the background, basically the entire thing, we're going to set the master opacity. So let's see what happens here, shall we? Okay. Now, obviously I failed miserably at something here, because the entire thing is not being I never called this code. This is one of those cases yet again where it would help if you called the code. So weapon object, not the weapon, FPS character. There we go, equip weapon, and then grab our player UI reference, set current weapon, and we should be able to, yeah, get the equipped weapon slot this time. Yeah, if we can figure out where we put it. There we go. Okay. At least this time I didn't try to figure out what was wrong before I realized I never set it up. There we go. Okay. That's what I was going for right there. Obviously I have an issue in the graph, which I understand why I have an issue. But see how the entire thing is basically grayed out, except for the item that I have selected? That's because I set the master. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am... Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Harry. Because I don't have an index of 2, I'm attempting to set the color and opacity on a weapon that doesn't exist. And I definitely need to fix that. Yep. No, I agree completely on that one. So basically, if... Yep. Usually I make stuff not work and then I validate it because I tend to forget to make sure they're correct. But the nice thing is I don't have to worry about validation until everything starts breaking. There we go. So now we have no more errors. And it looks a little bit better. There we go. I like the way that looks. Now it's at least... There should be a background behind it. I'm not going to argue. But now we have... You know, I can toggle between my methods in the weapon. I can go to the weapon, toggle between. And you don't have like a really distracting appearance for the items that are not selected. Oops, apparently this... Oh, I have it on burst. Oh crap, I broke. Whoa, burst just broke. Oh, huh. Okay, burst just broke on a reload. Yes, doing an alpha black fill on the back of the image was something I was thinking about doing. I have a what's my stupid box? My weapon loadout box. I can simply put a overlay in here. Actually, I can probably do it really simply right now. Yeah, and then technically I'd have to add it there. Oh, see, the problem is because this is a box, you can't do a fill on a box. It's not the way it's designed. I technically would need to add an overlay under the box, and then I would need to add a actually, technically, I would need to wrap this with an overlay. Actually, if we want to get technical, I guess, because everything still needs to go into the loadout box. And then the overlay would have an image as its master item, and then that could have our, where'd our color go? Something like that. Yeah. So that would work. I'd probably want, yeah, my overlay. Yeah, see, that's about the biggest issue. Is technically I have a actually, I'm curious about something. Okay, if I do the image as a fill, yeah. See, the problem is the overlay is set to a fixed size because of the way I designed it, rather than the overlay sizing the content. If I had it sized to content, yeah, we end up getting that right there, which I mean technically works fine. Oh, I managed to break some. Oh, I broke my animation. But the problem, yeah, the biggest problem is the fact that it's basically going to fill up from the top, which isn't what I want. Yeah, I broke my stupid animation because I'm no longer. I need to move the overlay and not the loadout box, since the overlay is now the master. But we end up with that box basically, which there's lots of ways of doing it. You know what? I'm gonna put this. Yeah, we're just gonna put that back. I think I just messed up. I think this was supposed to be here. Yeah. Oh look, I seriously messed up. Okay, let's do a lot of undoing. That's one of those things where I'm not worried about because it's easy enough to do later on a full art pass. But I mean, again, this is a prototype. It seems silly to do it right now. Yeah, it seems silly, but yeah, you do an overlay. You do basically what I did, but I don't want to spend time doing that. I believe I was in the middle of doing something. I got lost again, right? Oh no, we were just making sure everything worked, right? Oh no, we broke something again. Weren't we in the middle of fixing something? Yeah, reloading on burst broke. Yeah, we can't fire again after we burst. I ended up breaking that somehow, yet again. But which I'm 99% sure the reason why is because we can't fire. Yep, okay. So it's not even getting to the here. It's getting stuck in the player. In the handle button 1 event. Let's just cheat and we can go here. Let's release. Here we go. So yeah, I'm 99% sure it's getting stuck right here is the problem. Yeah, let's see. Try resetting the burst count on the reload branch there. No, it's not even getting to that point. It's not even getting the handle. It's getting stuck right here. I'm 97%. You know what? Dude. We have nothing right here. We can just do a little debug test. And hello, Alex. Yeah. So, yep, see, we're stuck at our firing during our reload event. So, there seems like a really easy way of fixing this that we simply haven't realized. Uh, we have a function called handle reload right here that if we're reloading, then we're not firing anymore. So, everywhere else we have put that stupid is firing section should probably not even be needed if we simply handled it appropriately. We are reloading, we're no longer firing. If we basically see, and this is one of those funny things, this would be a good candidate. This is what I mean by doing stuff wrong and then fixing it later. Technically, the weapon works in a state. Is it firing? Yes, then it can't be reloading. Is it reloading? Then yes, it can't be firing. So if you had this as an enum and we just simply set a state on the weapon rather than booleans, it would have prevented this issue. Set the enum to reloading, we no longer have an enum of firing. We set the enum of firing, we no longer have an enum of reloading. And it would allow us to basically set the state of the gun and solve this issue. That's probably the proper way of handling this, and it's only something you're going to run into once you run into Boolean fighting, basically. Having too many Booleans fighting over each other. See? Working again. Because I'm forcing it to no longer be firing. Yeah. So, we definitely should have thought about that. I also think I broke something. Yeah, for some reason, we broke bursting. This is awesome. Yeah, this right here, this is good. I'm glad this is happening. This shows how having interconnected stuff, are we firing, are we reloading, having all this other crap that is basically interconnected is causing issues. Yeah, this should not be here, for example. We should basically only ever set the enum properly once, and it should be an enum. So that's probably something we'll work on at some point and getting yeah, see how we broke bursting? I can fire too many times now. Let me verify to make sure. Let's change our 9mm into a oh, that's not what we want. We want our weapon object. Delay between firing. Let's change this to half a second so we can make sure we did break this. Yep. I can, if we make it even longer, let's make this 2 seconds. Just to double check to make sure I'm not crazy. We should have 3 shots. I only clicked it once. Now I'm going to click it twice. No, never mind. Oh no, see, there we go. We had... Yeah, so there's something wrong with burst. Ah, darn it. Hello, Alex. I think I said hello already, but I don't remember. We've definitely broken bursting somewhere. We'll make a note of it. And, possibly broke bursting. Change weapons over to an enum that holds the weapon. The current state. Firing, reloading, on fire, etc. Yep. There's no delay after the last shot. Oh, I see what you're kind of saying. But, well, maybe, and the fact it is at 0.1, I just simply click it too fast. No, I see what you're saying. No, that's actually a very good point. The delay between firing. Yeah, no, that is a very good point. Nope, that is a good point, and that's something that should be fixed. Yep, I will go ahead and keep this. I'll keep that in here as something to work on. That's one of those smaller things that you just have to slowly tweak. No delay after firing a shot. That sounds like it's something that should simply be fixed somewhere. Apply it. You can't, if you're talking about this one, you can't do that. Because we're inside of a function, you can't apply a delay. So that's a small issue there. The weapon itself should basically have a cooldown. The weapon should not allow itself to do any action unless the delay between firing has occurred. And that's more of an issue on my side than anything else. On the turn node. Which node is that? Oh, hook up delay variable to the return. Well, the okay. So the problem is, okay, like if I did do a delay here, it wouldn't do anything because our character, when we handle the action button right here, all that does is call our fire the weapon right here, which basically fires it again. That's all it's doing. All we're doing when we have that delay is telling it to fire again, not whether there should be a delay on if it should fire again. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple different ways of handling it. Yeah, correct. The delay's not. Well, the delay's also not applied unless I tell it it should fire again. Basically, I have a feeling this is like what, the third version of us adjusting this stuff. It's almost there. I think we're handling things in the wrong way. I definitely think we should basically at this point pull the weapon delay out and prevent the weapon at the prevent the weapon at this level right here when we're handling it from firing if it's too soon. And that wouldn't be too hard to handle either. You could do something really simple like lock the weapon, I guess technically. That's what you would do. Like for example, we have our delay come out, and no matter what, we turn this into a oh my gosh. Yeah, see, you kind of, oh man, there's so many issues that you can run into. I'm gonna wing this off the top of my head. I'm gonna say it out loud, see how it sounds. We're not gonna work on it today, but my thought process is the delay, pass the delay back to the character, set another timer, which is basically to lock or unlock the weapon. So we'll basically set a timer after this delay to unlock the weapon, and then we'll lock the weapon basically somewhere around this point. So basically lock the weapon. Yeah, and input delay should be police. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll lock the delay right here. Not lock the delay, but we'll lock the weapon. So basically our weapon's been fired. We're going to lock it up right here. Handle what's going to happen. And then based on the delay right here, we're going to unlock the weapon automatically after this delay. Once the weapon unlocks, if we've told it to fire again, we're going to go ahead and fire our bullet automatically. If we haven't told it to fire again, then we're ready to go ahead and handle firing again based on the player's information. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to do this. Basically, control the rate of fire from the weapon, and then lock the weapon from being refired again, automatically or manually, for that amount of time. Because technically, right now, unfortunately, our weapon damage is frame rate dependent. If you have a slow computer, you're going to run into an issue. we technically need to decouple the damage from the frame rate at this point and fix that. But that's something I don't plan on doing for a while because it's not technically an issue unless you have really slow frame rate or really fast firing rate or a combination of both. Moving over to this system, like I'm basically talking out of my butt on, is probably a good step towards that. So I think I might put that in our list if I can figure. I closed the friggin' list. Seriously, I closed the list. That's not very helpful. How can I work on the list if I closed it? I'm thinking of putting that in here as something to work on tomorrow. If I can figure out, let's see. So possible broke bursting, which we know is not burst. We know it's due to the delay now. Change weapons over to an enum. That's probably smarter. No delay after firing a shot. So we need to break the weapon delay down into the character to prevent the character from firing auto or manual until the cooldown has been passed. We'll do that. I think we'll work on that for tomorrow. And still try to work on a projectile weapon. We still got to get the projectile weapon working. But obviously, if we don't have our base systems working at least semi-reliably, and you got to keep in mind too, honestly, if you're someone who made a basic system for a game, and then you were like, okay, I want to add some more stuff to it. These are all such small nitpicky things that don't even get fixed normally until after you have the basics running. These are all those things where it's like, not technically polished, but I mean it's like a bug fix pass. Person can click too fast. Person has problems when his frame rate is low. Person can be firing an automatic weapon and then change the weapon while he's firing and then switch to another weapon and now his grenade launcher is auto fired. Those wacky type bugs are all things that generally we would do after we've got all this stuff done. But I do like finding them as we're working on the project and then implementing the fixes as needed, which is good. So I think we're going to wrap up today's video. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes. We unfortunately, I mean technically we did add in fiery modes and we got these fixed 2 days ago on the 13th. I guess that would be 1 day ago. But we're kind of basically bug fixing a lot of stuff right now with the firing modes and the ammo types and all those different things. Getting basically weapons into a more stable state, I guess would be the right way of putting it. So I think we'll try that tomorrow. I have a feeling moving the delay over into the character would be a smart thing to do. And it should be pretty simple. It should be what I said. Hopefully we don't break things again. But I think we'll go ahead and do that. And then I think we might move the state over into an enum. That way we can clean up all the extra booleans. Because one enum for a variable state rather than, 2, 3, 4 bools is probably smarter. Okay, so I think we're going to do that. I appreciate everyone hanging out. And I appreciate all of the questions. I appreciate all of the comments and bug fixes. And, I can't believe you did that. Everything's going to explode when you fire. I appreciate all that help. And feedback. We are going to work on fixing bugs tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, which means it'll be an Unreal stream first. So I will start streaming again probably roughly the same time I did today. Probably around 12 or so. Let's see, tomorrow's Thursday. Actually, that's a very good question. What is tomorrow on the forums? On the stream. Let's find out. Child actor templates with Zach. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so tomorrow's going to be an awesome stream. It's a Zach stream, which is always good. And then child actor templates, which is something new they added in 4.14, which I have not tried. So Zach normally does not take an hour. It'll probably be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I will be streaming probably 12:30 to 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'll stream for about another hour or so. It won't be another long stream, unfortunately, again, because it's Thursday. But we'll fix the bugs, have 2 enjoyable streams hopefully tomorrow. And then head towards Friday. Again, appreciate everyone hanging out. Feel free to contact me via the email address on YouTube, the Blueprint link on YouTube, on Twitch, on Beam, however you feel like contacting me. Questions, comments, why did you do something stupid, you idiot, stuff like that. Everything's appreciated. Everything's a learning experience. Again, I appreciate everyone for hanging out. I'm going to mute the stream for about 30 seconds so it just doesn't disappear. So everyone have a good rest of their day.